Hey y'all, it's Christy Cook from Teadoddles. I'm finally back. Yay! Y'all, I have been without power. Let's see, it was 8 days. Yeah, I was without power. My little town, Albany, Georgia, was in the eye of the hurricane. It was a Hurricane 1 when it came over us. So not as forceful as it was when it hit the Florida Panhandle, but it still was strong enough to do some damage, certainly. I'm gonna try to make it through this portion without getting too emotional. I just wanted to tell you why I hadn't recorded a podcast last Saturday or a tutorial Tuesday, this past Tuesday, because I didn't have power. We did have a generator hooked up, but the internet was out and everything, and it just didn't seem that important, honestly. I do love doing these, but at the time I had more important things going on. Let's see. As far as my house goes, it's still intact. I have shingles missing off my roof, and it took we have a turbine on top of our roof, and it took the spinning part off, which we finally found about 3 houses down from us, which is pretty far because in my neighborhood everybody has about a little over an acre or more as their land, so that's a pretty good distance. And it uprooted the big oak tree in my backyard, which I don't know how old that tree was, but it was very large, and it took out our four-wheeler. It completely squished it. It also landed on a shed that we had in a box still we were planning on putting up, but now it's under the tree. Many limbs down everywhere, and it took out so many power lines and power poles in this area. There's a highway that runs not too far from my house, a 4-lane highway, and it took out like 12 power poles in a row, and those were the really large ones. My neighbor had a tree fall on his power lines to his personal power pole, and it broke his pole in half, but that has been repaired. So down one end of my road, you couldn't even go down it because of all the power lines and trees over the road. Yeah, my husband and I both missed a whole week of work because power outages everywhere. My husband works in Albany, which is about 30 minutes from where I live at. And Albany is still recovering, or getting towards the ends of recovering, from the tornadoes they had in January 2017. So now they have basically damage on top of damage in some areas from the hurricane. I know my in-laws, when I spoke to them earlier today, which is Friday, they still didn't have power as of this moment. So yeah, it was quite the experience. I have never been through a hurricane. They don't usually come this far inland. They're usually a tropical storm or something by the time they get here, which can still cause, power outages and tree damage and stuff. But this was a lot bigger than that. Yeah, so that is why I haven't recorded a podcast in a while. Just got off the phone not too long ago with the insurance adjuster, or the insurance people, because of the roof and the four-wheeler and all that stuff. But I don't know, it kind of hit me after that. I guess it made it more real or something. Not that it hasn't been real living without power for 8 days. Because let's see, the first day we didn't hook up the generator because our power went out about Wednesday. That was October the 10th at like 6:30 in the evening. And at one point we didn't even have cell service, which that probably lasted about 12 hours or so, I'd say. Then the next morning when we got up, we were looking at the damage. We were starting to try to clean up some things. It was so hot. Because here in South Georgia, it just doesn't seem to know that it's fall yet. And it was so hot. And then we come in the house. Of course, the air conditioner's not working because the power's out. So there wasn't much of a way to cool off. So we were tired and cranky. So again, we went to bed and got up the next morning. Power's still not on. My husband decided to go looking to see what was going on. I had hopes that the power would come back on soon. Of course, I'm an optimist. My husband, after he saw all the damage, he was like, no. No, it's not. So, of course, he was right this time. I'll let him be right for that. But anyway. So, yeah. And we had a generator, but it runs off propane, which is kind of expensive to fill back up. We had it just hooked to the refrigerator and freezers to keep from losing food. And we could run a fan for a little bit when it was going, because of the heat. And then the next 2 days actually weren't that bad. It cooled off a little bit. We could open the windows, and you know, it was tolerable in the evenings. Then like one more day, and it was so hot in the evening. It was so hot. I grew up without air conditioner, but we at least had a fan, so we didn't even have the fan. So yeah, it was hot, and it was hard to sleep. I think this was Sunday. I'm gonna say it was Sunday because Saturday I went to my parents to try to get some blog posts done. At least they already had their power back. So then my dad let us use his generator, and they hooked it directly to the dryer plug or something. I don't know how that works, y'all. So we were able to turn on lights, and my husband went and bought two window air conditioning units to put in so we could at least sleep at night. So yeah, my husband just went back to work this morning because they were out of power, so he couldn't go to work. But anyway, that is why I was away. I'm happy to be back. I have a lot of things to show y'all because I had so much to show y'all for Yarny Goodness and for Fabric Obsessed. So I'm kind of jamming that all in together today. And I may start just doing my Saturday podcast as just whatever's going on at that time instead of dividing them up. That may be a little easier for me to keep up with personally because sometimes I forget what I did over the month in one area. So this may be the beginning of a new thing. So yeah, and I did a blog post today that comes out later today. I'll put a link to that. Has some pictures and a little more information about everything that happened with the hurricane. So if you're interested in that, I'll put that link down below. So now that that's out of the way, I had to do that first so that I could move on to other things, right? Oh, I did want to say that I had, for those that don't know, I had thyroid cancer 5 years ago, so I no longer have a thyroid. I went in for my checkup. It was the Monday before the hurricane. And my levels are way too high, which explains some things about why I've been feeling so jittery and had headaches, which at first she thought may be due to the steroids I was taking for my foot thing, but once we talked some more about it, she was like, no, I'm pretty sure you need to come down a level. It was because of a change in my birth control, actually, which I have other female issues, but we're not getting into that. So yeah, I have to go back in February, which always sucks when you have to go back. I try to keep it to once a year if I can manage it, but sometimes things happen and you can't. So that means I have to go back for another blood draw and everything so they can make sure the change in my medicine put it where it needs to be. Because my husband asked if wouldn't it be better to have my levels higher because I feel more energized. I said no, that's really dangerous if it's too high because it affects your heart rate and all those things, so that can cause you some major trouble. So I could definitely tell a difference since I've gotten a lower dose, and I feel like it may have gotten too low, but of course there's been a lot of stress going on, so I don't know yet. We'll see. We're gonna wait to see once we're past all of this how I feel. I also had a birthday on Wednesday. I am 41 now. Yay! So that was exciting. It wasn't really something I thought about too much because of everything else going on. I did go out to Denny's, which is like a 24-hour restaurant that serves breakfast and stuff. Because I get a free meal on my birthday, so we went out there and ate. So that was nice. I do have a gift that I got from my parents to show y'all. And today, Friday, is my husband and mine's anniversary. So we've been married 16 years. So that's exciting. And yeah, I don't have any big plans for that because he's going to be working late because of all the time he missed. But anyway, so that's life updates. I think that's enough of that. I'm going to start with the yarn stuff, and then I'll go into the sewing stuff, okay? I have a lot to show y'all. I know I said I put myself on a yarn and fabric diet, which I did. But most of this stuff was before I did that. I just haven't been able to show it to you yet because I've been gone for over a week. And I usually hold on to it until the next podcast that's for that. So just so you know. But first I'm going to talk about, I did a lot of crocheting in the dark, basically. We had lanterns and all that stuff. My husband's a hunter and camper, so he had all kinds of stuff we could use, I was very thankful for that. So yeah, I did a lot of crochet. I did not manage to finish anything actually, but I still have some things to show you. So I don't have any finished objects as far as crochet goes. But I'm going to talk about this first before I show you my works in progress. I did a podcast, I think my wild card podcast is what I called it, about all the planners I bought and stuff I like. So I spent some time when it was daylight and I was stuck here at the house fixing up one of the planners I got for my crochet project book. So I had some things printed out already because of course I couldn't print out anything at the time, but I was just gonna show y'all because this was the one that was supposed to be for teachers, and it was a planner. I thought it was for last year, but it was actually from like July of this year to next year. So technically I had to use part of the planner, but I already had another planner, so I just kind of stuck things over the top, you can see, because I had bought that crochet planner I talked about. I'll do show notes for this and put links to stuff in that like I usually do. So because it was for an 8.5 by 11 and this is I think 7 by 9 or something like that. So, and if you know, most of those 8.5 by 11 things you can cut away so much border because they put such a big border on things. So I was able to either stick it on a page, any references I wanted, or I had the hole punch so I could add it. I used scrapbook stuff to add pockets to the front of the dividers, which were months, but I divided them by, that says accessories, if you can see it. I divided it by the sections I have my crochet patterns divided by on my computer, because I was able to look on my computer. I just couldn't get on the internet or anything, but these were in my own files. As long as I could charge it a little bit and then look at it a little bit. So what I did is, like I said, this was accessories, and then I went through, I have different sections under my accessories, like bags, cowls, stuff for your feet, shawls, capes, ponchos, stuff for your hands, hats, and you know, that kind of stuff. I just realized I misspelled jewelry. Oh well. But I kind of wrote it down like this in this little section. And you can see where I've stuck, like, this was supposed to be the month view for your calendar. I just stuck stickers and stuff over everything and just used it to write down what I wanted to. So, still works. And so now, the week ones, I still got to cover up the dates, but then I can list out what I'm planning on doing is a project when I started or one that's in progress, making a little area for it so I can keep up with stuff. So the only thing I really did was go through and start working on my sections and stuff. So, and anything that I had already printed out, I punched holes and trimmed it up so it would fit in the book. And then some of the dividers, if they had something, words on it that I liked, I made a little pocket out of some scrapbook paper just so I could put anything I want to in the beginning of this, because this one's like for Afghans, and then I have one for home decor, amigurumi, baby and kids, and that's as far as I got. I still have one for clothing, like adult clothing. So yeah, I feel like this will be wonderful to have. I do plan on going back and adding things I have on Pinterest because I need to divide out some of those boards anyway. So this will be a great way to keep up with it and one place reference for. Okay, so where is this at? Is it a PDF on my computer? Is it a pen? You know, is it something I have printed out already? Is it in a book? So yeah. And then when I'm looking for something to do, I could come in here. Of course, it also made me realize how many patterns I have that I haven't actually made yet. So that's something else to think about when I was like, oh, I really need that new pattern. But you have 10 other cowl patterns you haven't crocheted yet. But, you know, it's not like the pattern's going to go away most of the time. It's not like yarn that maybe they won't have that color anymore at some point, or, you know. But anyway, that's something I spent some time doing when I had no power. And then I also managed to do a little bit of work on my next pattern that I'm hoping to have written up. I need some people to test it. I wanted to have this out before Halloween, but I don't know. It may come out at Halloween if I can get some people to test it. I don't know yet. Because I wanted this was going to be a paid pattern, because it's taken me a little bit more time to figure it out than some of the simpler patterns I've put on my website. But it's going to be called a Bumps and Scales Cowl. Because, well, you can see this right here, which this is just the corner that I've done so far. But basically what I'm doing is corner to corner crochet, but I'm adding like a crocodile stitch in the corner to corner crochet. And then I decided on this stitch as my bump, which is basically a half double, like 5 half double crochets together, because it stands out a little more. Because the one I did here, which was just a basic bobble, it just doesn't stand out very much by itself. So this is, it's going to be called, I'm trying to straighten that out. Oh, this has been crumpled up in a corner. Okay, got interrupted by a phone call, which was apparently nobody that actually wanted to talk to me, because they didn't even say anything when I answered the phone. But anyway, I was talking about this pattern that I'm working on. And this will be a cowl. Like I said, I'm working it as corner to corner crochet with the bobbles and the crocodile stitch within the pattern. It is a slightly modified crocodile stitch. obviously, to get it to fit into a corner to corner stitch. Like I said, I'm calling it a bumps and scales, because I was wanting to do it by Halloween, which I hope to at least have the pattern ready by then. I'm making it out of this Karen Simply Soft tweeds. This is the gray heather. Yeah, gray heather. So I really like how this is working out. This is a little bit thicker than, I guess because of the little bits in it, it seems a little thicker than what their Karen yarn usually is, because it's usually a thinner worsted weight than most. So I hope to have this done soon. So you'll have to look for updates on Facebook and my Instagram, because I'll be looking for people to test the pattern, hopefully. So I'd really like to have somebody test it, because it is a, I would say it's a little more advanced crochet pattern, because you need to know how to do corner to corner crochet, the basic mechanics of a is that even right? I don't know. Of a crocodile stitch and a bobble stitch. So I feel like if you have ever done any of those before, you would be able to make this. I'm not going to say a beginner couldn't make it, but if you're not familiar with those stitches, I'm not planning on including like how do you do corner to corner crochet in here. I will have a chart. But so just look for Instagram and Facebook for when I'm looking for testers for this, okay? If you're interested. So that's something I did manage to work on. I did manage to get it worked out how I want to do it, so I gotta get it written down and everything and get one finished. So the other thing, I am almost finished with my crocodile stitch poncho. I thought I was already finished with it, and then I realized I had another row. So I was like, ah! So, well, I have another row before the mesh. So this, I have one half completely done, and like this, I've started, you have like 3 rows of crocodile stitch, and then you'll have like a little mesh spacing. So I've started on this row, but I have this row and 2 more rows of crocodile stitch to do. And then it's like the mesh up to the neck. I think I have a collar to do. So I'm almost finished with it. And I also realized at some point, yeah, you see I have 4 rows of crocodile stitch here, because I was wondering why my row count was off. And that's why, so I just kind of adjusted for it here and just put 2 rows and then went back to my 3 rows. So that just made it work out just fine. So, but yeah, I'm almost done with that. Hopefully by the next time I talk with y'all, I will be done with it. Then, let's see. I started working on, okay, this is my alicorn shawl, which I did not finish in time for the end of September, which is Thyroid Cancer Awareness Month. Okay, where's the end of this? I usually have my stitch markers on here, but I couldn't find them because it was dark. So, but yeah, this is getting pretty giant, I suppose. Let's see, yeah. And I decided to, this was the last little bit of this color that I had. So I kind of did alternating stripes and then just worked out the rest of it. It actually ended in the middle of it, but I wish I had done that more here instead of doing this big swatch of it, but that's the way it is now. I'm almost at the end of my second skein of this color. I have one more skein. I had planned on putting all of it in there, but we'll see. I think I probably will need to put at least half of the other one in there, but that's what my intent was, to just put all of the yarn in there. So it's a little bit time consuming, even though it's a basic stitch, because you're using a bigger hook than what the thread is, if that makes any sense, because it gives it a lacier appearance. So that just makes it take a little more time. And you know what? I just realized I do have one finished object. Because I started making things for the holiday stash down that they have over on Underground Crafter. And I showed this a little bit in my monthly roundup podcast. And I haven't done anything else to it, but it's like a, it's called a fold over, I don't think that's what it is. I don't know, hold on. Fold over cowl. I've got to put my ends in and put the buttons on it, but it's supposed to cross over something like that, and it folds over. I made this out of, well, it's a red heart yarn. I don't remember the colorway, but I'll put it in the show notes. It's one of those I got when I bought that $1.99 skein yarn. But I really love how the way she did the pattern, this little edging happens when you do the rows. So you don't have to do an edging afterwards. It just makes it look like that as you do the rows. I thought that was really neat. Because most of the time you have to go around and do the edging, but it made that little ruffly edge as you were doing the rows. So that's cool. So that's technically a finished crocheted object. Although I do have to weave in ends and add buttons to actually wear it or whatever. So, but you know, give me a break. So next I have another project from the holiday stash down. And I'll have to put what the pattern is and who the person that these came from, because I did not think to write that stuff down. It is in my, I think I showed some of this in my monthly roundup post, but I've gotten a little farther on this one. This is a scarf, and I'm using the colorway. Where's my little thing at? It's a Mandela. I think this is called Warlock or something like that. Thought I had that paper with me. Good grief, y'all. I try so hard to prepare for these things and then I never do, but it's either, I think it's Wizard or, I don't even know if that's right, but it'll be in the show notes, y'all. I really love this stitch. Look at how that stitch is. It looks super complicated, but it's not actually that complicated. It's a well, I don't think it's 6 rows. I think it's more like 3 or 4 row repeat. So once you pick it up, you can just keep going with it. And then on the other side, it looks completely different. So it's very textured, and it's almost double layered the way you do your stitches. I really enjoy this stitch. I did realize, I don't know how I did that, but if you look right here, you see that stitch coming out of here? Well, that's this stitch that's under these little bobbles. Somehow I managed to get it all the way around the edge of the work. I have no idea how I did that. But it's just going to be my extra special touch, because when I realized that I was too far along, I was not taking out all those stitches, y'all, for that little bit that nobody will ever notice unless I point it out like I just did. So I really love this pattern though, and I love the color changes in this yarn. It's very fall feeling to me. So, because I've got, there's that little rusty brown that I'll get to eventually, because I plan on putting this whole skein of yarn in this thing, just making it as long as the skein lets me. I think it'll still be long enough. I don't think I'll have to add any of the second one, but we'll see. So those are my works in progress. I have some new yarn. I have some yarn from my yarn clubs, and then a few purchases I had made before my yarn diet. I'm just gonna say that. Not that I'm sure y'all would not give me grief about that. I'm sure. So I'm gonna pause right here and just say, I don't think I said at the beginning, welcome to new subscribers and welcome returning subscribers. I'm glad to have you here. listening to me yammer about my crafty bits and my crafty stuff. This is probably going to be a very long one because, like I said, I'm jamming in the yarn stuff with the fabric stuff that I typically separate out for a whole month. And I may just continue to just jam them together, and it won't be as big because it'll just be the little bits I do along each week. So we'll see how that goes. First, and you may have seen a picture of me on Instagram holding these cupcakes. So I was very excited to get them. I ordered these from, I believe I ordered these from Joann's. They were on sale and I had 20% off total purchase coupon. And I ordered them online and had them shipped to me because the gas money it takes to drive to the store, which is like 30 minutes, it's more like 45 minutes from me, you know. I was excited because I bought these specifically for a throw. And 3 of the colors were colors that were on my list that I wanted anyway. 1 was not, but it still goes really well, and I really love the throw. It's from Line Brand. It's a free pattern. I'll put a link to it. But the one that wasn't on my list that is in the pattern is the Jelly Bean one. Now, I just love these color combinations. This one wasn't one of my favorites, but I do love them. These cupcakes are 100% acrylic. They have 590 yards on them. That's a number 3 yarn. So that's a lot of yarn. So then one that was on my list is this peas and carrots. The color combination is probably not something that I love necessarily, but I love the name peas and carrots. And as I'm looking at this, I'm wondering, because it's supposed to have that little bit of orange you see here. I'm not seeing any of that in here. I see the rusty brown and I see the yellow, which technically that orange should be between the yellow and the brown. I didn't see it. What is sad about that? But there's no carrots in my peas. Well, hold on. If I dig down in here, there is some more green starting over. Well, maybe I'll find it when I start crocheting, because I did not see orange in here at all. And based on the striping, it should be this brownish, then the green, light green, lighter green. This is lighter green. Yeah, white. Seems like it's not matching. Because the white is supposed to be by the yellow, not the light green. That's weird, according to this. But anyway, I'm going to keep talking about the yarn. Okay, and then one of the other ones that was on my list is this beach ball. I love the color combination. And what I love about these yarns, if you look, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but it's got some speckles in some of the colors. It's not just straight color changes. I really love that. So, then the last one, which is one of my favorite ones, is Happy Dance, which is something I did when my power came back on. This is one of my favorites. I really love the color changes in this, and I love the color. Some of the color is on the white and the gray. You see the speckles? I just love that. There's even a lot of speckle in the yellow if you look. I'm really looking forward to making a blanket with this. I don't know when I'll get to start on it. I have 2 blankets in progress right now. No, I did not show you those because I can't show you everything I have in progress, or we would be here all day. But I try to show a little bit each time. Anyway, those are those new yarns. And this, okay, this is one of the most expensive yarns I have ever purchased in my life. I'm just gonna say, there are lots of fabulous dyers out there and they have fabulous yarns. It's just usually not in my budget. And occasionally I'll find a sale or a good deal, and I might purchase one little skein or something for a special project. This will definitely be saved for an extra special project. This came from Sorella's Handmade Home Fibers. Here's the little bag it came in. I saw on her Instagram where she was doing a yarn de-stash of her personal yarns, because she collects other yarns even though she dyes yarns. And if you ordered a skein of yarn, you got so much from her de-stash that was kind of an equivalent to what you bought for free. I thought, if I'm ever going to buy any of that yarn, because there was a colorway that I have loved from her feed forever, now was the time to do it. So the one I purchased was, it's called Farmhouse. And I just love this yarn. It is so beautiful. I will say that on her website, this kind of color looked more red to me, but the description does say it's a rusty pink or something like that. So I still love it. I mean, it's gorgeous. This is a sock weight. It has 463 yards on it. It's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And no, I will not be making socks out of this. I cannot see myself making socks out of this. Y'all, this skein of yarn was $27. Yeah, that's a lot. And I've never paid that much for a skein of yarn before. I know there are some people that do all the time. But I'm going to say it was an early birthday present for myself, because I love this. And I will have to find, there are other things you can make with sock weight yarn besides socks. I just can't see making socks out of this that are going to go on my feet that nobody's ever going to see. Because if I go in public, I'm going to have shoes on. Plus, they'll wear out faster because they're socks. So, yeah, I'm going to have to find something extra special to make with this. So, probably a shawl is what will be made with it, so I can see all the colors and things like that. So, I'm very excited about this. But, anyway, what I got for free with my purchase from her yarn de-stash was, I got this Malamia Sweden. It's 100% cotton. It's very soft for cotton. Very, very soft. It's 180 yards. I don't see where they have a size, a weight on it or anything like that. I've never seen this yarn before, so I don't know. That's something I've never seen before. It's in this very soft gray color. It says naturally soft cotton. I don't know. But yeah, I like it. The rest of the yarn I got was all Line Brand yarn. This is just the DIY yarn, which is like a, this is a cream number 4 acrylic. It's got 65 yards on it. It's just like for making pom-poms and stuff some people use it for, or little small projects. They sell them like that. And then I got some 24/7 cotton, which I already have some of this yarn, but that's okay. I do like the yarn. I don't like crocheting with it because it's a tougher, it's a stiffer cotton. It's soft feeling, but it crochets very stiff, if that makes any sense. This is a taupe, and it's 185 yards, number 4. Yeah, 24/7 cotton. And then I also got this Feels Like Butter yarn, which I've never had before. And y'all, it is very soft, I'm gonna say. Feels Like Butter is an appropriate name, or butter. Feels Like Butter. 218 yards, and number 4. This is 100% polyester, which I've never crocheted with 100% polyester. Let's see, how many yards? Oh, this is the color Ice. I think I already said the yards, which is 218 yards. It does say you can make a hat with one skein. Probably a baby hat, I don't know. But I like this. It's very, very soft. So those were all the things I technically got for free, because this one skein of yarn costs $27, which is outrageous to me. But I did get this other yarn too. So, like I said, I'm going to say it was an early birthday present, because that was that was a crazy purchase for me. But if I ever was gonna buy any of that, that would be when. So, alright. That is new yarn purchases. I wanted to show you what I got for my birthday. My parents got this for me because I took a clue from Summer's Tips and Stitches, because she talked about how she would, I was telling her that I never get crafty things for my birthday or for gifts from people, which is odd because they all know I do crafty things. But she has to specifically tell people, which I never thought about that because they probably don't know what I need or want. But anyway, I needed a yarn swift, so that's what I told them. And so I got a yarn swift. Yay! And I can't wait to use it. I haven't gotten to use it yet. This is from Knit Picks. This is the Onyx color yarn swift. It has little screws to help hold up the swift and to hold it to a table. So that came from my parents. I really appreciate that. And I can't wait to use it. So maybe I'll get to use it some this weekend. I don't know. I have to clean out my fridge, y'all, because we lost some food in it. So I'm not looking forward to that. But anyway, what else? Okay, I'm gonna show you what I've gotten from my yarn clubs. Because I didn't get to show y'all the Mary Maxim from September, and I've already received the October one, so I have both of those here. So the one from September is this. It's got some more t-shirt like yarn, and these are all cottons. It also came with a, can't see that up there. I love that these come in a little bag that I can keep it in, or keep other things in when I'm not using it. It also came with a 12mm crochet hook this time, which was nice. Since these are cottons and the t-shirt yarn, the pattern, oh man, I thought the pattern was showing on the back, but it is not. Gotta unzip it again. Sorry guys. This is the pattern. It's for a basket and some dishcloths, which I think is really cool. And I actually may be able to use this as a gift for Christmas, so that'll be neat. My dog, he's in my chair over there, and I have the blinds open because I haven't closed them yet from when the power was out. And he's checking out things, and he's growling and hunting. So if you hear that, that's what that is. Alright, so this is October Mary Maxim. We get to make this cowl, and I love this yarn. Love the color. I got, let's see, 5 skeins, and I just took it out of the thing. Yeah, there's 5 skeins of this in here. This is Deborah Norville Serenity Chunky Sequins. So yeah, you can see the sparkly sequins on it, and I love that purple color. It's a bulky number 5. The color is Purple Rain. 93 yards. It's 98% acrylic and 2% paillette, which I'm not sure what that is. That must be the sequins. But yeah, got 5 skeins of this and to make a cowl with, so that's awesome. Y'all, I haven't crocheted any of these Mary Maxim sets yet, but I love that it comes in this little zipper bag so I can store them until I'm ready to make them. And I already know what I'm going to make with them, because I haven't seen a pattern yet that I wouldn't make what the pattern is, so that may come around eventually. So that's my 2 Mary Maxim sets, kits for the crochet club. Let's see, I have got my Darn Good Yarn Club. It continues to be late, but I do always get it before the end of the month. And they did back up the payment. It's usually due on the 1st. They backed it up to the 8th this past month, or this month, because of the shipping delays and stuff. So I don't know, as long as I still get my yarn, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me, because it's just like a surprise when it comes in. So this month we got Silk DK Weight Yarn, Wild Bird of Paradise, and this is a light number 3. I like these colors as well. I love how it blends in down here. Yeah, I like those colors. And the pattern is a headband. It's just a headband. There's a knit version and a crochet version. And then we got this, which I'm not exact. I think it's some kind of, I don't know what that is. It looks like it's a pendant, or possibly could be used to close something. I don't know. I like it though. I know I like it. It's like a feather thing. The headband is called a plume headband. I'm trying to see. No, I don't see where it's used in the pattern. Usually it's used in the pattern, but either way, I like it. I think it's cool. So that was my Darn Good Yarn Club for September. I haven't gotten October yet. And then Jimmy Bean's Club, I have September's and October's. September was the end of the shawl that we were making with all the different yarns. I've only done the first part, haven't done the second part, and now I have the third part, so that's something else I have to finish. But as usual, these are all wonderful yarns. I haven't taken all this out yet. And this time our little goodie was this goat milk soap, which smells really good. Honeyed grapefruit is what it's called. It's from Beekman. I think they're starting to carry this in their shop. There was a big paper in here about it. And then the yarns, of course, we were making a striped shawl. There's different sizes and weights and colors for the shawl that we're doing. Trying to see. Yeah, okay. That's basically what it looks like in the end. I don't think my colors look as bright as the colors in this shawl in this picture. I haven't seen that bright green, so it may just be different colors. Yeah, so this was designed by Elizabeth Davis de Jerez. And so that's the rest of that one. So I also have October's, which is the beginning of a new project, because with Jimmy Bean's Yarn Club you get a little bit of yarn each month for 3 months in a row, and you'll have a project completed at the end of it. So I really like that. But this time, when I got my box, you see, this is this box. This is what it normally comes in. My box this month is a lot bigger. You see that? So I was very excited to see what was in it, because it's a much bigger box. So of course, the beginning of the month you always get a new yarn bag, which this one has Yarn Monster on it and a definition of Yarn Monster. And y'all, there are 2 full skeins of yarn in here this month, and I love it. Look at them. Oh, they're so pretty. This is like a, yeah, this is a 61% wool, 26 alpaca, 13% polyamide. So it does have alpaca in it. It doesn't seem to be itchy though. I have problems with alpaca sometimes. So I'm hoping that it's not itchy, because we were making a cowl. And there was a note. What did I do with that note? Nope. Maybe it's in my bag. Let me see. Oh, and usually the bag is your little extra in the first month of the 3 months, but this time I got a pen as well. Look, a Jimmy Bean's pen. That's pretty cool. And then I also got some more of the handmade by Soak lotion. We usually get a packet of this every time, and then at the end we usually get something to wash a little packet to wash the item with. So this little note, just a quick note. The pattern we are sending does not include instructions for color changing. We have found that you can average 2 full cables per ball of yarn or 2 rows. This is where you get to make this pattern your own a bit and decide if you want larger or smaller stripes in your cowl. As you can see, you will be getting 6 colors total. So you will be able to get creative if you like and save some of this yarn to play with later on in the pattern if you wish. Let's just have fun. Happy crafting. So we're gonna get 6 of these by the end of 3 months. And y'all, I priced these. They're like $10.95 a skein on their website. This is $15 every month. That includes shipping. So yeah, I got these 2. I got the pen. I got the little lotion in the bag. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. I've never gotten full skeins. Usually they wind up what you need to make the pattern each month. But I always have leftovers. I've always had leftovers. So I'm very excited about this. This is something. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm back. My dog started barking because my husband was here, so I take a little break, and I needed to charge my phone anyway that I'm recording with. So maybe one day I'll actually be able to do one of these podcasts without having any interruptions, but I don't know, probably not. So I had showed you my last yarn club thing, and that's time to transition into the sewing stuff. So the first thing I want to show is my finished mega maker bag. Since this is for crochet, it kind of is a good transition time, right? Originally I thought I would want to add some stuff to make this stiffer, but when you fill it with yarn, which is really what it's intended for, it stands up pretty good by itself. So I think I'm gonna leave it like that because that's really what it's intended for. It's almost like a smaller duffel bag for yarn. But I have in here, let's open this up. This is one of my other Afghans in progress. So I have all the yarn for an Afghan in here. And these are the big balls of Red Heart with Love. There's several more skeins down there, plus the Afghan that I've crocheted on. So it holds a lot. And this one, I did put a loop to hang stuff on, and maybe you can see down there, I have pockets, which I have some scissors and a crochet hook in. So I probably won't put a zippered pocket in these, just those open pockets, because it's made to stuff a big yarn project in. So yeah, because what I did when the power was out, since I could not sew, is cut out a bunch of bags like this, what I'm going to call my traveling maker bags, more bags like this little project bag that I did a tutorial on, so technically you can make them too. So I have a ton of stuff cut out, so I can just sew it up now, which is kind of awesome. I just spent one day in here just cutting out. Had the blinds open so I could have some light in here. Surprisingly, you don't need as much light as you think you do when you're cutting fabrics. Only time I had some issues is if I thought I wanted to match some fabrics. I really needed something brighter to see better the color, but yeah, I really enjoyed that actually. So I have a lot of things cut out to sew, which I'm gonna, this in this stack right here. So I didn't get any sewing done, but that's mostly because, like I said, didn't have power, so really couldn't sew. But this was finished before all that happened. And I also got a lot of things. Let's see. I'll be making project bags like this with my mini charm bags. These are just a basic tote, and I usually put one little, couple little pouch-like pockets in here. But I think I'm gonna do the bottom in something solid and just have the patches up here, which I'm gonna show you in a minute. So those are the 3 kinds of bags. That mega bag. I don't have one of the traveling maker bags, which has a zipper, and it'll have a zipper pouch in it and pocket pouches in it. It's as big as the bottom of this, but it has a zipper at the top instead of the extra panel with the drawstrings. So yeah. So let's see. I'll take this little bit off first, because that's not something I've made, but I cut out a ton of these. Will all be these are potential linings for either a because the bag size for my traveling maker and the bottom half of these mega maker bags are the same size, which means the lining, since I do a doubled over top for the top fabric, the lining is the same size for all of them. So I cut out some once I had my other fabrics cut out for linings, and one is this, which this will probably be the outside of a bag, but I don't know yet. This very cute farm animal fabric that I actually got at Joann's. So I technically did buy some fabrics after my fabric diet was in place, but I only bought fabric for bags or projects that I'm making for other people, like commissions and stuff. So nothing to add to the stash, okay? So, because I also bought this orange for some lining for some Halloween bags I'm doing. It's just kind of a paintbrush effect or something like that. So those are 2 that I have cut out that will be linings for bags, or the farm animal stuff. Well, I still probably make that a lining. So that's cut out. I also cut out a bunch of, I bought a fat quarter. So I had went to Joann's the Saturday before the hurricane came. I think that's when I went. No, it was the Monday before the hurricane came, because I had a doctor's appointment in Albany and I had a bunch of coupons at Joann's, so I went in there to get lining fabrics for the Halloween bags, and I had a bunch of coupons for other stuff, so I took advantage of those coupons. I had 50% off of a regular price product, so I bought this fat quarter bundle of these plaids. Let's see, we have that plaid, that plaid. Yeah, I think that's all the plaids I have with this, but I'm planning on making this size bag with these, so they will have the Farmhouse animals on one side and the plaid fabrics on the other side. And I hope before the end of the month to have an Etsy shop open. Excuse me, oh my goodness. To sell these bags in. So that is the plan. You know the great thing about these bags? They are reversible. So if you don't like what I've decided is on the outside, you could put it on the inside. And you can still use this drawstring even though it's coming out the hole on the inside. Pretty cool, huh? I do plan on, when I did the tutorial for this bag, I made it a single strand. I plan on looping it through and just making it on one side. I think that'll work better. But either way, you can still, all these bags like this are reversible. So you could, if you want the inside on the outside, you could do that. That's pretty cool, right? Okay, so also got 2 traveling maker bags. I'm only going to do 2 in the Halloween, because I know some people really love Halloween stuff, but it's kind of a themed bag, so I will have more that are just, you could use beyond Halloween. So this one, these are hard to show because I've got all the stuff for the pockets and the zippered pockets cut out. These have set-in zippers, so let's see. This one, you can see most of it, yeah. It's got a purple fine well corduroy that will be on the bottom, And then it has this strip at the top of the bag. It has this embalm and scary on fabric, which is that's the only Halloween necessarily themed fabric because it says that on there. And it will have one of the purple zippers I got from Zippers. And then on the inside it will have a zippered pocket that has some more of that fabric, a blue zipper, and then the orange color. And then it'll have a pouch pocket that's going to have this on the outside and lined with the orange fabric. And then the lining is this purple gold kind of sparkly fabric I picked up at Joann's as well. Yeah, it's very shiny. So that is going to be a bag. And that's going to be what I call my traveling maker bag. I'll put a picture in right here to remind you what that looks like. And then I'll have 2 Halloween bags in that style. And I don't know yet, I probably will have at least 1 or 2, probably 1 or 2 of the, I may only do 1 of the Mega Makers in Halloween. I don't know, it depends on if y'all say, I really want one of those. I don't know. So, I didn't want to make too many Halloween themed things, and, you know. So, this one, I think this is my favorite of the 2. Well, everything fell. But this one will be made with some of my fabric I dyed. And this will be across the top. It has a moon and cemetery kind of setting. That'll be across the top with that orange dyed fabric. The lining and inside zipper is made with this fabric, which I got at Joann's also that day. I feel like this is made, this kind of look reminds me of bones or something for some reason. This one will have a gray zipper with the metal. And I like gray zipper for the zipper pocket on the inside. Which I'm making out of this polka dot orange. And it'll have a strip of this across the top, so it'll have that zipper, and then the pouch pocket will have another seam from that fabric and lined with the polka dot. So those are the 2 traveling maker bags that will be Halloween themed that I'm making. So let's see, and I don't know the price on these yet. I have to do some more research on that, because these traveling maker bags are a little more involved than, say, the pouch type bags. So we'll see how that goes. So these are a couple I did, which will be like the pouch bags, except I cut regular fabric out. These weren't cut out of fat quarters. Actually, these will be notion pouches, because these are smaller. They might be they're a little deeper than a notion pouch. They could probably be socks or something could hold them. But I used some of the fabric that was left over from this baby quilt I made. And one will have some of this embalm and scary on fabric. And then one will have some of that cemetery scene fabric. So there will be 2. These are too big to be notion pouches. They're more like a sock bag or something. So, or you could possibly, I may put zippers in the top, and you could possibly use it as a cosmetic bag. I don't know. But my traveling maker bags all have, I put quilt batting on them, and I quilt them to a certain extent, so that gives them a sturdier side. It'll be different than like the Mega Maker bag, which I usually make with some kind of stiffer upholstery or utility fabric. And like I said, I don't think I'll put any stiffeners in these. They do have linings, because you're going to stuff it with yarn. I think that'll be better. So, okay. My phone was full and it cut off on me. So yet another interruption. Guys, Oh my goodness. Such a struggle. Anyway, I was talking about the bags that I cut out. Let's continue on with that, and maybe we can make it through the rest of this without another interruption. Okay, so I have, oh, I don't even know how many I have. I just was cutting things out. Cutting things out, but I did buy some other Halloween fabric. Well, no, I bought a fat quarter bundle with Halloween fabric in it from Joann's with one of my other 50% off coupons. So I have, let's see, I have one with these crows. And again, I'm making these little drawstring smaller project bags. I have, and then I have some of that, more of that orange for lining. And then I have some that looks like old trees. It's hard to see, but yeah, it looks like old squiggly trees. So I have some like that. Alright. Cooperate with me. Okay. And then I have some that have this print on it. Like that. And I'm putting the purple with the gold sparkles in those, well, in that one. So I have one fat quarter of each fabric in that bundle. So then I have one with the skeleton bones on it, and I'm putting that with the purple fabric as well. Then I had this one really light fabric that you'd have to look at really close to notice that it's even Halloween, but it does have a coffin with a spider on it and a skull right there. But you may be able to use this even when it's not Halloween. I'm pairing it with that fabric. Looks like, well, it's like old wood, or had to cut this one differently because it's not a fat quarter. But it's like old wood, or like I don't know. What did I say before? Bones or something. I'm getting so confused because I keep having to stop for some reason. So I got a bunch of bags like that cut out. Some Halloween theme, and then I did have that farmhouse theme. But I'll be making some that are fall themed as well. So I also have, let's see, I've got a bunch of these charm squares. So I can make like the charm square tote that I showed before. I have all these batiks and these awesome fall colors that I plan on making bags out of. And then I have these, which are still kind of fall colors, but just more. And then I have some Halloween fat quarters. I'll be making some Halloween ones. And I got this, some of them will be lined with this boo fabric I got from Craftsy during one of their last sales. So those will be for the fat quarter bag, not the fat quarter bags, charm square bags, charm square totes. And then I do have some fat quarters cut out for Christmas ones. I used some of the plaids from that plaid fat quarter bundle I got. Well, I'm going to. I haven't cut these yet, but I got this plaid and this plaid, this buffalo check, which I love. And then I'm going to be pairing them with, one will go with this. I got this from a Christmas bundle last year sometime, but this has a little hedgehogs on it, which are adorable, and snowflakes in the background. Oh, it has squirrels on it too. And then this one, which is more wintry, it has a moose with a scarf on, and a moose with a snowman, or a deer with a snowman, and Christmas trees and everything. So I'll be pairing those two plaids. These will be the smaller project bags as well, and they'll be more Christmas themed. So I just have 2 of those that I'm going to be cutting out for that. Christmas themed ones. I'll probably do more of those. Or just wintry kind of colors. So, my charm square bags, I had talked about making that bottom portion solid. So, I ordered some cotton velveteen, and this was after my fabric diet too, but it was for bags. But I'm going to make the bottoms out of this cotton velveteen that I got, this gray. I have some other colors I'm going to show you in a minute. But I think this will look really good with all this other Halloween fabrics. So the bottom of the bag will be like this cotton velveteen, and then there'll be the charm squares across the top, and it'll have the handle. I did look at cross grain ribbon for handles because I really like, should just leave this up here. I really like the handles for this, which was made from a recycled cross grain ribbon from Blanket. When you buy them, sometimes they have these on them. But they didn't have any on sale at Joann's, and I really couldn't find a color that I liked, or two. I don't know. I just didn't like what they had. So I didn't get any. Which means I'll either have to find some before I finish these bags, or I'll be making handles out of fabric. So, and so I've got several bottoms cut out of that for the charm square bags. I have some other colors I'll show you in my new fabric purchases. But I also have, so I cut out 2 of these. I still have more of this denim fabric because I still want to try some of the dyeing and the bleach dyeing, but I've thought about it some more, and I think it'll work better if I make the bag shell before I dye it or bleach it. Then I can better see where I want to place it and maybe get it to do what I want it to better. So this would be one that I'd be bleaching, this denim suiting that I have. I'll try to see if it'll pick up the stripes and stuff. It's really dark denim. So I have 2 of these cut out. I'll probably make one mega tote and one traveling maker bag out of this. I don't have any lining or anything decided for these yet, but I have that one cut out, and this one's actually a newer fabric that I haven't shown. I started making these little tags out of index cards where I could stick, when you get fabric from Fabric Mart, they have a label. I can stick the label and then put a little square of the fabric on there so I can start keeping track of this better. So this fabric, it's actually 100% cotton boucle suiting, wood brown. It's 54 inches wide. It says the price was $14.99 a yard, but I know I didn't pay $14.99 a yard for it. This was probably one of their deals where they have, if you spend a certain amount, you get a certain amount of a discount. I'm sure that is it, because when I buy these fabrics, I have a price in mind that I'm going to pay for per yard is the most I will pay, so that I know that I can price any bags I make accordingly, right? So even though I buy stuff on sale usually, I know if I stay under a certain price point per yard for the fabric and how much I can use of the fabric for other projects. So I know what that price point is. And I know I didn't pay $14.99 a yard. It was discounted after the total was added, if that makes any sense. I probably spent $6 to $8 a yard for it, actually, after my discount. So I have, did I have 1 or 2? I have 2. Yeah, I think I cut 2 out. So this will be the shell. I really like the texture on this fabric. So I'll be making a mega maker bag and a traveling maker bag out of this. So I'll make one of each. And then I still have fabric that I'll probably make like some of the little zippered pouches, like the small ones I showed before. And I'll probably maybe even make some notion pouches out of it, or use it in a strip on something else. So when I cut out the big portions, I always have extra that I can use for other things. So that's always good too. And so then the second one, and I do have 2 of these cut out as well. I actually like this way more than I thought I would. This was a newer purchase, or before I went on the fabric diet. Shamrock Green Sand Cotton Vertical Zigzag Novelty Weave Woven. Novelty Weave Woven. I mean, isn't that kind of redundant? I don't know. It says I pay $6 a yard for it. It doesn't have the width listed on this one, but you can see the texture in it better on that card. This is actually very soft. I thought it was going to be very stiff, just looking at the weave. But it has this really nice zigzag. It's really, at the bottom of the fabric, it was wider. And I cut out one bag. So this will be the bottom notch. I'll turn this over. I cut out one bag so that the zigzags go this way. And then I cut out the other bag so that the zigzags go a different way. Here, let's turn. So I'll probably, the ones that are sideways like this is the back of the fabric. I'll probably do my traveling maker bag out of that one. And then the one that I cut where the zigzags are going vertical or horizontal, not vertical, like this. So I have one that's turned this way. I'll probably do a mega maker This is taking so long. I had so many interruptions that my brain is all mush now. And I'm tired and I want to eat. So, anyway, I still got a lot of stuff to show y'all. So, anyway, I'll be making a Mega Maker bag out of that one. So, that I got a ton of stuff cut out. So, I'm excited about that. So, I should be able to, when you have a bunch of stuff sewn, and these bags aren't hard to sew, like I said, the traveling maker bags are a little more complicated because of all the zippered pouches and stuff. Then it makes the sewing process so much more fun because you can kind of whip through a bunch of things at one time. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping to get some of that done this weekend. So those are all my in progress things. I had thought briefly about cutting out some clothing as well, but that's not as easy to cut out as the bags, especially when we don't have lighting because you gotta mark things and all that stuff. So I didn't get that done. But I have some new fabric purchases. These first 2 I'm going to show you, I did purchase after my fabric diet, but it was for bags. That's the only reason I purchased them. So potentially to sell. So that's not for my stash, okay? Because I had been eyeballing this velveteen, cotton velveteen that's popped up on Fabric Mart, and it went on a good enough sale that I went ahead and bought a yard of these 4 different colors. Yeah, because I had the gray, which I already showed you, and then I bought this flamingo pink, pale flamingo pink one, which I love. I have some fabrics in mind to pair that with. Because I will be making probably some, I'll be using them as the bottoms of my Charm Square bags, but I'll probably put some strips or something in some of my traveling maker bags, and I may even make a, I don't know yet, Mega Maker bag out of probably just the bottom or something like that. I don't know yet. But I really love this. It's a velveteen, but it's pretty soft. I got this blue. Ooh, it's blowing out. This is denim blue, right? And then I got the gray, which I already showed you, which is actually fossil gray is what it's called. I've got that on a tag already. Then for some reason, I guess I was thinking about Halloween still, which I don't need to make a ton of Halloween stuff. I bought this volcano orange, which is the very bright. You see that? Yeah, that's very bright. But it can still be a fall color. But I really, since I got it, I wish I had bought one of the other colors I was looking at. I don't know. But those are the ones I got. I got all these from Fabric Mart. They were marked to $8 a yard. And this is 100% cotton velveteen, which is typically like $20 to $30 a yard. So that was a good deal. And since these are all 60 inches wide, I can get several things out of that. So that is awesome. I'm going to put that down here. Alright, so this I did show in, I don't know, I feel like I've shown this, but I think it was in a blog post. So I'm going to show it again. But I got this jelly roll at a Craftsy sale because I've been wanting to buy a jelly roll. This is the only jelly roll I've ever bought, believe it or not. But I have an idea for a quilt pattern, which I technically made one that is jelly roll friendly for a baby quilt I recently finished. It's already been mailed off, but I will insert a picture here. And then you can see that. I'll link to the blog post in my show notes about that quilt. I have about 3 baby quilt patterns right now that I want to get published. Not enough time in the day, people, for everything I want to do. But anywho, I love, this is still in the plastic, but I love the colors in this. This is their Boundless collection from Craftsy. It's called the Mojave colorway. But I have an idea for a quilt pattern that's different than the baby quilt one that I want to try. So that's why I got this. So that was also for a purpose, not just for mustache. Okay. Mustache. Alright, so now the rest of this came from, no, that's not true. I have some stuff from Girl Charlie, and I have some stuff from Fabric Mart. And all of this I actually purchased last month. I just haven't shown it to y'all yet. So, here we go. Let's see. I'm going to try to do the Fabric Mart ones first, because they all have a lovely little sticky label that tells me exactly what they are and how much they were. Yay! Alright, so I got, now these are so gorgeous. I just loved them. And I may use these in some bags. I haven't decided yet. This is an autumn orange ivory chestnut linen cotton yarn. Yarn dyed plaid woven. Ugh, too many words. I paid $8.05 a yard for it. It is so gorgeous. This would also be wonderful to make a cowl or blanket scarf out of. It's fabulous. Then I got this one, which is the same kind of fabric. It's just in a different color. Okay, so the regular price on this is $22.99 a yard. So this one I got for $8.05 a yard. This was another one I ordered where you get a discount, overall discount for the whole thing. They have things where you can get, if you spend $50, you get $20 off. Or if you spend $100, you get like $60 off. Which I usually try to do because that's $40 for $100 worth of fabric. So that makes it about, I don't know, it usually averages out, depending on how many things you order, to like $6 to $8 a yard, which that's just basically what I try to spend. So anyway, this is the other one. It's a smaller plaid design, but it's still quite lovely. So yeah, those two may find their ways into a bag, as well as this one. This is a flanneled twill. It's also 100% cotton. It says it was $12.99 a yard, but again, that was before my discount. So I know I didn't pay $12.99 a yard for it, probably more like $8 to $6. This kind of has it changes in the light, like the way the flannel is done. I really love it. It's very soft too. Those are what all make nice shirts, or like the fabric cowls, or just a scarf if you wanted to add some trim to it or something. So those are all really nice. I really love those. This is, again, one that I got where you get the discount, overall discount, because it says $12.99 a yard. I know I didn't pay that much for it. This is 100% cotton floral voile. 58 inches wide. It's a very, very thin, lightweight cotton. It's kind of stiff feeling. It's very see-through-ish. I don't know if you could tell that. I love the print though. I have an idea for a top, lightweight top. It'll be summery, obviously. Probably won't be wearing that. Our weather is starting to cool a little more, which is wonderful. But then I also have this muted black flamingo, muted plum, off-white. Sometimes these descriptions are just crazy. It's 100% polyester anyway. I paid $3.15 a yard for it. And this was one of those where, lucky me, I get the end of bolt because I ordered and it was almost end of bolt. So I actually only bought a yard, but I got 2.5 yards for $3.15. So that's pretty awesome. I'll be making some kind of tunic top or something out of this. I really like the print on it. So yeah, I'm happy to have the extra 1.5 yards. So that was pretty awesome. And then I have this knit, which is modal lycra, strictly abstract jersey knit. God. Now, I'm seriously starting to think somebody doesn't want me to record this today. Just got a phone call from my son. So that was what that interruption was about. But anyway, I was talking about this abstract jersey knit modal lycra fabric. I paid $5.20 a yard for it. It's a very soft drapey fabric. I really like the pattern on it. It'll make a nice top. Alright, and then my last one. This one was sold by the panel. It was $6 for a panel. I'm not sure. I don't remember what size the panel is, but it's also a knit. It has this really cool. I'm gonna try to show y'all the whole print, but it's gonna be hard. But it has this really cool, like, overall pattern that fades to a lighter color. So I really like that. I think it'll be really cool as a longer top or something like that. And the selvage edge on this is a rainbow, which is really cool because it's so neutral in color. I didn't expect to see that, but that's a really cool selvage edge that maybe wind up as part of my garment. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I really liked the color transition in this, and like I said, it's a panel that you buy. I like the transition from the light to dark. So we'll see how what that winds up being. Because I'm working on, sorry y'all, just blocking my face. Try to fold this back up a little bit. I have to get it right in a minute. But anyway, I'm working on getting my tags like this and getting my little book with projects so I can be making this stuff. So, alright, that was all from Fabric Mart. Now we go to Girl Charlie. They had a sale. They had a 99-cent sale on their half-yard cuts again. And they had a lot of Hossie, I don't know if I'm saying that right, HACCI knits in there. And these are really great for making little cardigan tops and stuff, or adding details to stuff. So I grabbed some of these. This one, it has that little lacy detail in it, which I really like. And I'm going to be showing on the blog and probably in some tutorial Tuesdays coming up how to use these half-yard cuts for different things, because they are useful for things, even though you get a half-yard of whatever it is. So, and this one I don't like as much as I did when I saw it, but it's okay. It's a little bold. I like gray and beige or tan more than I like black and white. So, I don't know. Well, that one's okay. But then I got this one. It's a very nice, this is another lacy kind of knit. Here we go. Which I would probably use this as a detail on a knit garment versus a whole garment. And this one is the same, it's just a lighter color. And then this one, I just got the half yard cut, but I love the color transition so much that I went back and looked to see if I could buy like a full yard of this, but they didn't have any more, so I will figure out something fun to do with this. I really like the colors on this. I think it probably would make a cool like cowl or something. I don't know yet. We'll see. So those are my half yard cuts from Girl Charlie. And then I actually got 2 yards of this. This is another Hossy knit. This one I've been eyeing forever, and it was like on sale for $3 a yard. So it's like they called it a blanket, Navajo blanket knit or something like that. I don't know, but you can see the pattern on it. I really like the colorway. I plan on making that into a cardigan. That's why I bought 2 yards of it. And last thing, oh no, this is not the last thing actually, but almost the last thing. I'm not gonna probably show all of these, but this stack, this is like remnant cuts. You get anywhere from a half yard, a quarter yard to a half yard. And it was like on sale for $9.75 for this. It's like 5 pounds of fabric basically. So there's actually I think there's some in here that are bigger than that, and I think these are half yard cuts that I ordered on top. So I like this pink fabric. I got 2 half yard cuts of it. It's got a speckle in the background. It's hard to see there, but then I got these 2 stripes, which this one is oranger than I thought it would be. And then I got this really soft, kind of drapey gray colored one. So those are also half yard cuts, which were 99¢. And this stack is all the 5 pounds that I got for $9.75. And you may think, what are you going to do with those little cuts of fabric? But they're great for all kinds of things. They're great for adding details to certain garments. If you want a contrasting sleeve or something, they're great for making headbands. They are actually very useful for all kinds of things. And then you don't know what you get until it comes in. So I got a lot of great fabrics in here. So you may want to think about ordering those. So I'm not going to go through all of them because I've run so long on this, but you can kind of see some of the prints in there. But that's what I would use something like this for. Like I said, for edgings and for contrasting sleeves and contrasting things on garments, headbands, those kind of things. So that is all the fabric, and you should not expect this much fabric to show the next time because I will not be purchasing it. So I should have more finished objects next time, unless I decide, like I said, I may just do Saturday podcasts and just talk about whatever it is I'm doing at the moment instead of dividing them out. I don't know. Squeezing this all in one has been very tiring, but I also got this, there's 12 assorted zippers, a bag of zippers for free with that, my last order from Fabric Mart, because that was a special they were running, so that was nice. I can always use zippers for stuff. There's all kinds of different ones in here. And then when I went to Joann's, I also got, because I got all the hooks before to make stitch markers, so I got some things to make some Halloween themed one because I had a 60% off total purchase of Hildy and Joe strung beads. So I got these. That one fell, but it's just like that pumpkin one. The purple and the pumpkin, I really liked those. And they're plastic, so they're lightweight, which is important for a stitch marker. And then I also got these owl ones, which is kind of a patinaed looking metal. Let's see. I really like those. I felt like they fit in for the fall theme. And plus I just really like owls. So, I also picked up, they had an extra 25% off of clearance items. They had all these leather tags, well, and some metal ones in their clearance. So I got some of those for crocheted items. Can you see what that says? Yeah, I really liked those. And I got these buttons. I really like them. They're fabric related buttons. They're kind of heavy too. They were cute. And the other thing I got, which is not sewing or crochet related, but I got these. I needed some stencil brushes, and they had those on clearance. They were like 97 cents, and then another 25% off. So, okay. I think that is everything now. I have no idea how long this is because I got interrupted so many darn times. So, yeah, that is my big old podcast. I don't know what I'll be titling this because it's got my sewing and crochet yarny stuff in it all together since I missed one. But it was nice to finally get to talk to y'all again. I hope that anyone watching that went through Hurricane Michael has made it out okay on the other side. So y'all just be thinking about all those people, because that's a terrible, to lose your home entirely is horrible. And I do know some people here in my area that actually, they had trees crash through their houses, and some of them had their whole roof blown off. There was a big red barn on a road down the road that I ride by frequently, that I watched them build that barn. It hasn't long been finished. Seems like the entire thing's gone. It was just a pile of rubble. It's gone. So, well, I know that the people in the panhandle of Florida have the most loss, because I've seen the video and everything from down there. There are people this far in Georgia that had major losses as well. So, anywho, I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast, as pieced together as it will be because of all the interruptions. And I will see y'all again for Tutorial Tuesday and next Saturday for a new podcast. So, hope y'all have a great weekend. And if you like this podcast, give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing. And I will see y'all later.